So I just want to make this short video, just make a quick announcement. Recently, by recently I mean November, I was at PASIC, and if you don't know what PASIC is, I'll hopefully be putting out some little videos explaining what happened and how cool it was. But I was at PASIC, and a friend of mine told me about this drumstick company that was new-ish to the drum set world. He just told me that he was been talking to his friend, and he was talking about how good the company was. So I had never really heard of this company before. I had never really tried anything from them. So I went to their booth in the expo hall. And when I went there, I got to actually meet the owner of said company. And when I was talking to him, we talked for about an hour on his history with drumsticks, his history with drum companies, and what he likes, what he dislikes, and why he started his own company, and what's been going on with his company afterwards. And I was pretty impressed by everything he had to say. So I was intrigued. I thought, I've always used ProMark, but I've also tried every other drumstick company's materials. So I was like, hey man, I came back later and said, hey man, could I try out one of your drumsticks? And I was expecting, just buy a pair of 5Bs and something, but he just handed over a pair of 5Bs and said, go for it. So I took them home. So I got to use these sticks for a rehearsal. Recording, a gig, and then just individual practice time. And the last rehearsal I used them for was in a church setting where I was inside that glass shield, and it was for a youth event, so I was just hitting pretty singing hard, and they finally broke. And I picked up my ProMarks, and I held them, and I started using them, and it just did not feel right. And that was so weird to experience, because there's been no other company that I've used other than ProMark that has felt good to me before. I've been able to use ProMark pretty much my whole life, just for any occasion. And I found myself in the place where it just didn't feel as good. And I tried them out. I used them for the entire night, and it just didn't feel as good. So I finally contacted the owner, and I said, hey, I'd like to join up with your company, if at all possible. Just, most people won't endorse most companies won't want an endorser to be just a small YouTube channel or a person who randomly does gigs. But I'm actually proud to announce he didn't call. He emailed back and said, we'd love to have you on our ed team. We'd love to, sign you up, get you started. So I'm proud to announce that as of a couple weeks ago, I am now endorsing Salyers Percussion. And this is just a sticker. I don't even think you can see it from over here. But I'm now endorsing Salyers, and I'm really excited because I've gotten into some of the stuff that they do, and I've looked up and done some research on the company, and some of it's really impressive. Especially the work they're doing in the marching arts and the mallet industry. It's incredible. And then the fact that these are their first drumsticks that they ever produced for drum set players, and I fell in love with them. So Bruce Sawyer, who is the owner I mentioned earlier, he was a really cool guy to talk to, super nice, and I'm really glad to be a part of this family, because when I got the Soultone endorsement deal, when I did that was more for the cymbals themselves. I wanted to try these out, I wanted to use these, but there was no tie to the company necessarily. I wanted to try these, because I've seen drummers use them, and I thought they sounded good, so I went with it. This was a company that I endorsed not only because I love the product, but because I also love the people. And that is huge, because you want to like the people who you are backing. You want to like the people who you are working with, because this is a partnership. So in that spirit, I'm endorsing Salyers. I got my first shipment of drumsticks right here. I got a couple 5As, a couple 5Bs, and I'm just super stoked. That's not a word. I'm just super excited for what's going to happen in the future. I'm glad to be a part of this company. Bruce Sawyer, if you're watching this, thank you again. I'm really looking forward to it. And guys, seriously, if you haven't heard of Salyers, if you haven't checked them out before, give them a shot. You will be very surprised. I can guarantee it. Because, again, I tried these out for a week, 2, not even. And they lasted through a gig in the rain, actually. And, like, it's just really impressive to me, the stuff that they're building over there. So, yeah, Salyers Percussion, go check them out. I'll put the link to their website down below, and you can check out some of their other artists. Some pretty big names in the marching and mallet. Jeff Moore, I know, is part of it, which is crazy. So, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.